opponent comes in to push the upper chest or shoulders wherever they go, one of my favorite techniques in the whole wide world for that is as I pop it out, work it on through. I step in this knee from right here, boom, this knee comes into the groin. It keeps their hands out as you're working on their body. Now if they come in with a single-handed push, you basically can do, boom, the same thing, boom, pop, catch on through. And I love it when people say that this is just popcorn Kenpo or something like that. So just to give an idea, as he's coming in, actually hitting him a little bit harder, a little bit deeper, or I should say a little deeper, not a whole bunch harder. But see this gap? It's there for a reason. Send him down. Catch him here. It hurts. Hurts a lot.
This right here, you know, any type of crowded situation, but so little movement, so much torque. Clamping across this hand as you step in. Shoot that right up to the vagus nerve in the neck and that right down to the groin. And closing the gap a little bit more with that gives you more speed.
One of my all-time favorites is for when somebody does a grab and they reach in and grab the lapel. You just step back, catch. What I like to do, instead of trying to pull on my opponent, instead is shift and explode through, catching, bring it down, bring it in. I do this at any kind of speed. I'll catch one with the fingers so I don't hurt you. Right there. That shift in stance allows me to hit. Now, I don't like to hit with my hand sword half as much. I'm going to catch you a little bit. Whack. There's the hand sword. I like to hit with this right here and whack. It centers that in and it destroys that neck. It gets this out here. Once this is out here, when I bring this in, boom, I can work on them with both hands. Boom. And get stuff in that I can keep control of. That's how I like to do that one.
And that's that right there. And this sartorius muscle, it's that muscle that makes that V right here. The longest muscle in the body. Yeah. And hit that with any type of real force or follow through. It'll double a person over so quick it's not even funny. That straightens that knee out, so coming down on that works so much better. And right there, catch it.
Right step to the punch. That, or the older version.
See, my favorite is, my favorite is a yellow belt technique, but it's extremely simpler, and it's
get in here. Come here.
I can't even remember the title of it. Throw the punch, and it's delayed sword. Yes, thank you. It's my favorite one because it's so simple, and I've used it twice now in a situation, and it really, for me, even if I remove the cat stands and the groin shot, someone throws through, just the punch through, lifting my leg and dropping into the vagus nerve just makes me feel like that's enough to say, get away.
Let me help you out with that for a second. Okay? It's fine to view this arm as a slide point. It's okay to come from here to there. There's something a little bit better to do. If you hit with this and circle right here and you boom, that explodes right through into that. It gets so much faster than trying to slide it. You're coming in with basically a straight movement anyway, because if you're not, as they're coming in to punch you, if you circle it up and around and down and try to do it like this, you're slowing yourself down by a lot. Kick yourself in to where as they're coming in, boom, you're already there. Hit that hip in, get that thing going. Turn that hand, and his head comes right toward you. All you have to do, turn that hand, boom, and that head comes right down. Get harmony of motion with this other hand. Bring this hand up as this hand goes out. It's going to be your positionary check anyway. It's got to be there because he's got other weapons that he can use against you. So you roll that off, pop that in. You've got your positionary check there to work on his body if you want to add more to it. You've also got, when you're here, you can flip up into the eye. Brings right on through, catch down into that spot where he got me a second ago. Yeah, that's lovely. Just rip right through that with your knuckles.
Pay for that.
Oh, I was nice.
You were.
Yes, I was. It was incredibly nice. But yeah, hook, get that circle right there. And you'll find something else out too. Come in with your punch, and I'm going to come in with. Yeah, drew him in. Kick was there. Strike was there. Positionary check is right here, ready to go. It just rips right through his body. Originally, delayed sword was for a lapel grab. It was taught by me as for an inward roundhouse punch.
Yeah.
Or taught to me as a roundhouse punch. But you can put your hand on someone to let them practice it. Again. Boom. And torque. Pop. Elbow. When you start off any hand movement, you should start and end with that elbow. As the opponent comes in, whack, get that elbow to sink. See what happens to your arm? So when I move that elbow, it whips. It gets tail end movement from my hand, bam, which puts my other hand up here. And I can go through the body and catch as well using that elbow. Get that elbow to move. You can't get that elbow to move, you're not going to ever get any real power. I'm going to catch you a little bit. If I stiff arm hit you, it's just a stiff arm. If I circle that elbow first, it's not just a stiff arm anymore. That's just circling that elbow a little bit. Isn't that amazing? I'll take that as a yes. Now, you take that same said movement, and what can happen is this person has me by the throat, and I want to drop this down. When I drop this down, I'm going to actually catch first with part of my thumb right here to drop that down. I take that same movement, I rip it right through. What I'm hitting is I'm going through here and I'm going right through the bladder. And at the same time, if I can do it, I want to catch that hand. Because this circle, it may look like a large circle, but you're going to cut it in half anyway. Right about here, you're going to snap it and bring it right up into behind the head. You can catch with that. You're going to hit right there, and you're going to go out cold from that hit. I'm catching with this. It wraps around the head and does that. And when you do those, you knock a person out real fast. The person just, goodbye.
I can't believe I've actually developed a little bit of resistance to those strikes.
Well, I also did it with the backward hand instead of that way.
Yeah, and you want just a hair low. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime. Those actually, I don't know if, has he hit you with that before? Yes. Oh, well then, never mind. I like it when people, no, what is that? Thud. When you wake up, I'll tell you what I did. Yeah, I like that. Catch with that thumb, hook that on in.
I really like that.
Bam!
Thumb right there.
Yeah, that hurts, don't it? It just rides right on that nerve ending. Right
She's
there.
got incredible leverage to it, too.
You're torquing that in. You're torquing it all the way down. From that position right there, you're torquing all the way down. And if you catch that arm, you do this right, you torque that down, and you hit, you catch that arm comes out. As you're catching here, you can slip this arm in between there. Now you got to throw.
Hands are freezing.
It's wonderful. Yes, it is. That's fun, ain't it?
Yeah.
One of my other ones is for when somebody's reaching for you, you don't let them catch you, you don't let them grab your body, but you want to fold their hand in on themselves, so as he's reaching, pop, fold his hand, boom, go right in through here, come up and around, snap, break the arm, while at the same time, this is underneath his nose. My elbow point is right underneath his nose. It's on that nerve ending right underneath the nose. This leg is going to tell the rest of the tale. As I drive this down, boom, and down the student goes. I like that, right on that nose. Boom. Now somebody was telling me that they didn't think that if somebody grabs your throat, you should turn to get them to release. So what I want you to do is, when you grab my throat, I want you to grab. All right. And I mean grab. Grab like you just want to off me, okay? Just get rid of myself, okay? Go. Boom. I think that worked. Yeah. Let's look at that again. Slower. I come around, turn, go into the groin, into the face, circle it around, and back down. I think it works out all right. Itches a little.
Yeah.
Now,
I have worked for years as a saddle maker. I don't have a weak grip.
the other one that works like that, the person had to stand on the wall for the same kind of thing. They're choking you, pushing you up against the wall. This usually people want to address their body and stuff like this. I want to address a twist. So what I do is I start my twist here, turn, bring that elbow on through, go right into the groin. I caught his thigh to be nice. As I come through, whack! Catch that on through as I cross out and cover. But there's no way he's going to hold me as I make that turn. There's no way that elbow's not going to make that hit. And once I go through the groin like that, if you noticed, I could have face planted him into the wall that he just had me stuck on. Fun.
Very nice on catching both of my lower shin and the outside of my knee.
Yep.
At the same freaking movement. It's pretty sweet.
Yep. I like that technique. I was glad that I created both of those techniques for that specific reason. Somebody asked me, what would you do if somebody had pinned you up against the wall? You get somebody who's got incredibly good hand strength, hitting down on their arms isn't clearing that away. If I hit him, all I'm doing is delaying the inevitable. I don't care how hard of a punch I got, I can try to get him up here, but he bends those arms and he's still got pressure on my body. But if I cross through as I hit to break that, and then come back around, catch with that elbow like that, I'm getting out of all of this. And as I'm getting out of all of this, come into that groin, bing, and take him on out. I want away from his weapons as fast as I can get out of there. And I mean, that to me has been the easiest way that I've ever found to get through those weapons. You start by expanding the arm, one arm at a time, not trying to do both. When people try to do this, and they come out like this, they're trying to force. You're only using your anterior deltoids in this movement. You're just using the back of your shoulders. He's got all of his arms, front of his shoulders, and chest holding up against my throat. Now, for those of us with a little bit of practice, or for those of us that have the neck strength, as they're squeezing, you can always come down and push down. But you got to have that neck built up to do that. And I don't want to do that in the middle of a fight because I'm putting my head down there where he can knee me. And that's just to show off the neck strength.
Yeah. On top of that, just somebody who's got good natural reactions. As soon as they see those hands come up, they're going to dip those elbows.
Yep. And sink them thumbs in.
Yeah. That's going to cause even more problems for you. There's always a, clap.
Yeah.
You get.
Yeah. That works so much better if they're grabbing like a double lapel grab though.
Yeah.
And boom, explode on through.
Yeah.
Boom. Nice. What I like to do with that one though is before I address the body, readdress the arms.
Oh yeah.
Into the body. Readdress those arms to get them further out of way, so I can go right into the body without anything possibly being there in the way.
I like that. It sets the shoulders better too.
Drives that body down a little bit, sets you all up for a beating.
And frankly, Yeah.
nice. Deflecting hammer. And I'm going to borrow him.
Okay.
Yay.
All right. Borrowing a lower belt student, to me, for this particular technique is more important than having a black belt student that will react properly. Sometimes a lower belt student won't react properly, and that's exactly what I want. There's two sides to this coin as far as this technique is concerned. Some people say you should have your hands up. Some people say to start this technique with your hands up. Other people say to start with here and work from there. I have never found myself getting gut shotted with my hands here. As a person comes in with a right snap kick, no, let's try that again. Person comes in with a right snap kick, get in here. But let's do that again. Watch. Take your hand, slide it down the leg, step in, get right here. Drive that force so that you're there. Written technique says elbow. I don't mind an elbow. I like an elbow if I can slip an elbow in. If I can't, though, drive that force right through their chest, drive them over my leg, make them lose their glasses, send them on their merry way. That thumb into that chest, if I would have done it like that, stick your leg up for a second, barely tap. That thumb into that chest stings a bunch. Now I'm going to fold it so it doesn't hurt you. But add that pressure into that strike and turn that hip out. He's going right here, or slowly bringing you down. You're coming right down here toward this knee. That's where I want you. Because if I can drop you to this knee and drive that knee into your face before I go away. Now, hands up version, there's nothing wrong with that, except for I don't see a reason to have my hands up. But when somebody comes in with that kick, you can easily slip right in there. You're sliding down their leg like you're supposed to, and you're slipping in. But because my hand came so far out, I may palm heel into the face rather than choose that chest. And because I have this positionary check to keep him here. Here's a fun one. What do you do when he does the spinning back knuckle? As he comes back around with that other arm,
Yeah.
oh darn, it's already there, an extended outward block. Palm heel, hook, and right back in. That extended outward block is already there because of the positionary check, and you slide it right up and dead stop them every single time. It's neat that way. So that thumb into the middle of their chest is just devastating. What were you working on?
I was remembering the variation that I liked on swinging pendulum. And I will keep away from the groin shot.
You're doing him.
Okay.
We'll get him with a roundhouse kick.
Alright, roundhouse kick. I'll show what the original technique was, you know, nice and slow, and then I'll go ahead and do the variation, which I just like. Just
Roundhouse kick, you?
yeah. Now, just a spinning back kick.
Roundhouse kick.
Yeah.
Right here. God!
Before they have full time to react, you come in with this shot right here. Strike to the groin, catch the face, and then shoot up, elbow off the chin, chop, sandwich elbow. And see the foot placement? Handy for clearing out. Now, version that I like is that when they come in with this shot, this inward strike does all the work in the first place. So, catch right here. You can catch with that inward strike, or you can do a horizontal, downward, inward parry right across that knee. We've seen that have some serious results. As he's up like that now, and I've got his leg just so wonderfully, I shoot that shot right in there. He had his hand down there because he knew something was coming. But that didn't stop anything really. As that's going to continue to double him over, lift, drive, and he goes. But when you catch that lift, and I'll do it to where I don't give him time to react, and I'm not going to hurt him, but when he comes in with that, elbow this time, then drive straight back down through the thigh muscle. Right up here, right where it's nice and sensitive, there's actually a nerve center up here. And that bunched up muscle, right around that nerve center, you strike that thing, it's going to spasm like crazy.
I don't know why unfurling crane was taught to me as a single right-handed punch. I've seen it written out, and I've seen other people do it as a right-left punch. It's only taught to me as a right-handed punch. And for me, unfurling crane is not a technique, it's a form. It's like the longest blasted thing you could possibly do to your opponent, but at the same time, along with that, it has a lot of beautiful damage. And the opponent's coming in with a right-handed punch, you shoot that right into that spot right there. I don't know if you caught the movement of my leg, but the leg went to the cat stance and into a kick from right there. Claw, back knuckle, right as I do this back knuckle, bring it right back downstairs. When I do this lift and come out with this to open him up, I catch here instead of catching back into the groin area. The reason why is look at the angle that I'm creating with that maneuver. I've knocked his body completely to the side, so when I come in, bam, and catch with that sandwich elbow, I catch with first a palm heel, then a palm heel and sandwich elbow at the same time, and he's all stretched out. There's nothing he can do about this coming in. As I go to leave him, boom, come out with the scoop kick, and I'm done. Again, like I said, it's like the Kenpo form of a technique, but hey, it works out pretty well.
You know, and after getting beaten on for quite a few years, you start to get really good at sensing vulnerabilities. That little push that he did right to my jaw right there, he did that much harder. He had my jaw angled just perfectly to where my skull was pinching down right on the knockout point on the back side of my neck, and it would have jogged that vagus nerve and this point back here on the mastoid at the same time. Wouldn't have taken more than, and I would have been out.
Yep. Like that.
Yeah, that was
Variation.
that was the look of impending doom on my face right when I saw that sandwich, and I knew this was just going to come back. And oh.
Just glad I didn't do it hard.
Yeah.
See ya. Oh, speaking of which, basics. One of the biggest things that I can't stand to see as far as a block is concerned. I see this fairly often, and I've even had to express this to my own students. Guys and gals, when you do an inward block as somebody's coming in with something, don't have your arm stretched out like that. That forces all the power to come from just this part of your arm. You're not getting any of that elbow into it. You've got your arm way too straightened out. Bend your arm just a little bit more, and what happens is you get a tail end whip from this elbow. That as that opponent comes in, that elbow drops that down, and look at how much further away his arm went this time. I did that mostly open-handed. I'm not using a whole lot of power, a whole lot of strength, and I'm not hitting nerve endings. I'm just allowing my hand to hit him from here more reflexively than anything else. Now, as I do it this time, I'll actually give it a little. Circling that, brings that body all the way into me. Just brings him right into me. And that bend right there, that bend of that elbow is incredibly important. Bringing his body back to that moment of impact. Look at how bent my elbow was versus how I'd seen it many times before. If I hit with my hand, I'm catching him as best as I can with my wrist, try not to hurt him, but if I hit and dig with that hand, it immediately just tears that arm up.
Yeah, makes your fingers do that.
For me, in the way that I was taught it, an inward block should have the ability to break the ulna and the radius on impact. if done properly, you should actually break that arm. And there are too many ways to torque, too many ways to pull, too many ways to do this to not believe it. Because just rocking in on that right there, that's just your hips. That's just getting hips into that. And just rocking on that heel just tears right through that point, right?